Hello, happy Monday, still fun day. Lauren Jbara here with Jared Smith, and man, yesterday killed us all. Jared, what were your Jets thinking? What were they thinking?
It's ruining everyone's day. The irony is that's the beauty, and that's the I guess the non-beauty of gambling is that you really could root against your own team. And I don't know how to feel because I should be happy that the Jets won. The Jets looked like a game football team yesterday. They showed a lot of heart, but they ruined a lot of people's money line parlays, teasers, survivor pools. It was the first result of the season that blew everything up. And I think the Bengals showed us that they've got a little work to do, especially on the mental side of approaching some of these games because they didn't look ready to play yesterday.
Which I was really upset about because I've been riding the Bengals hard. I know our producer, Jack, big Bengals guy as well. So we'll see how they bounce back here come week 9. I was also at the Braves game last night thinking that I was going to win. Me personally win.
Get that ring.
Thinking that I was going to witness history, see the Braves win the World Series, grand slam in the bottom of the first inning, and they go on to lose. But hey, you know what? Braves in 6. So it's totally fine.
So fitting that you moved to Atlanta and 3 weeks later they win the World Series. Honestly, I'm gonna start moving places and that never happens. But you, boom, you come into town, city of champions right away.
I mean, I'm not saying there's a correlation, but there's a correlation. Lots to get into today. It's a busy, busy week. But for tonight, focusing on Monday Night Football, the Chiefs taking on the Giants. It's going to be an exciting one. We got some red hot chili proppers going over some props for tonight. Jared, he gave me the over, the under, 15 seconds. It's going to be fun. We have our Market Correction Monday, MCM. You could call it Man Crush Monday, Market Correction Monday. See how the market's overreacting after this weekend. Our friend Jim Monis coming on the show. Talk a little bit about Monday Still Fun Day. I love that he coined that as his own, and we are going with it week after week. That we cannot end without our Pickswise play of the day and our best bet. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's bet it. Monday Night Football, Jared. We got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Giants. It's going to be a fun one. The Chiefs in desperate need of a victory in this one, but the Giants been looking good lately. What do you see from this one?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I saw that this was one of the first times in history that a team is below 500 straight up, the Chiefs, despite being favored in every single one of their games, which is a little unique. But that's kind of the season it's been for Patrick Mahomes and company, underachieving, maybe mistakes, interceptions, turnovers, bad defense. That's kind of been the theme of the year so far, but the funny thing about that is it only takes one game for the entire fortunes of your season to change. We saw that this morning with the Derrick Henry news, which I think opened up the door because think about what just happened to Kansas City. They just got their doors blown off by the Titans and Derrick Henry, and now Henry's out. So if you're the Chiefs, you're not feeling like you're a below 500 team. You're feeling like you're right in the race because you've got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, and you've got one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. On the other side for the Giants, getting a little healthy. I think Tony and Shepard are back tonight. Ingram's been back. No Saquon, no Galladay, but they have Daniel Jones. And I think that's kind of the guy tonight. This is going to be, first of all, I love that we get a Peyton Eli broadcast with Eli with Daniel Jones.
Thing ever.
It's going to be great to see them talk about this Giants team and Patrick Mahomes and break down what we're seeing with both of those guys. If Daniel Jones can kind of do what he's done this season, which is overachieve in big games. They went into New Orleans and got a win. They've played some. They've looked okay in some big spots this year. I think they're a live dog tonight, and I think the Chiefs defense giving up 6.6 yards per play might be in some trouble as they've been all year. And I think 10.5 is too many points. We'll get to that a little later in the show. But I think in general, this is a Giants team that has shown that they can manage up when they play some of these bigger games. I know they've gotten blasted by some teams too, but very volatile. But I have a feeling that they show up tonight, and this is a really close game.
I also agree with you in this one. And 10.5, whatever, wherever you place your bet, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. And the Giants have been looking pretty good lately. I mean, I look at Daniel Jones, one of my bets this week, and I know we're kind of on the same one with this, but you have rushing yards too. I have Daniel Jones over 243.5 passing yards.
Yeah.
I just look at him, and I'm like, you mentioned it. The Chiefs defense has been subpar all season. The offense carelessness with the ball has been giving opponents extra opportunities. So many turnovers for the Chiefs so far this season. I look at Jones. He has at least 242 passing yards in 5 of his 6 games this season. Kansas City yields a little over 275 passing yards per game. That's 26 in the NFL. I think Jones is likely to, have to carry the offense in this one with all of the injuries that they're going through. I know a couple guys are back, but still missing a couple guys. Giants only running for 92 yards per game this season, and Saquon is out. So, he's definitely going to miss this week too. New York receiving core dealing with injuries. I think Darius Slayton returned last week at five interceptions, I think, for 63 yards. But I think that Monday night's game has Jones written all over it.
Yeah.
I think that he's definitely going to go for it. And he has, in my opinion, the healthiest supporting cast he has had in a while this season. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, yep, he's definitely going to have over 243.5 passing yards. But you're adding on the rushing yards to it too, huh?
Yeah, well, we've seen him. I remember one of our first shows we did, was the week that they played Washington. And that was a primetime game on Thursday night. And I think those are the games where he's more aggressive running the ball. He had 2 touchdowns in his first 2 games of the year rushing, and he hasn't had a touchdown since. And I don't know. I do get a feeling that you're going to see Daniel Jones be aggressive tonight. And I think because of the lack of running game, on the ground, with the traditional running game, it'll be Devontae Booker again getting the majority of the carries for New York tonight. I think that the element of Daniel Jones's legs will make Kansas City's defense more off balance than just handing it to Devontae Booker. So I could see them moving him out on the edge. And again, they're on the road. They're facing Patrick Mahomes, who's one of the better, I know he doesn't run a lot, but when he does, he's very effective running the football. So I don't know. I do get these vibes that he's going to be in this game, all in kind of, hey, I'm going for it. I'm head down, diving across the first down marker. It does prime time against Mahomes. I do feel like you're going to see the most aggressive Daniel Jones that you'll see. That being said, his touchdown prop's almost 4-1 tonight for Daniel Jones, which is a really juicy number. So we really like that a lot. And you're right, I did add on the rushing yards to his passing prop, 268. I think in a hook is where I got it. There's a couple of different shops that you can find the passing and rushing yards props, which I think, again, for a quarterback like Daniel Jones, he does use his legs a lot. They do design runs for him a lot. I do think that's a fair number. And then I'll sprinkle on one crazy touchdown prop. And I'm curious, I'll get Jim's thoughts about this in a little bit. Kyle Rudolph is 10-1 to score. And listen, I know what you're thinking. He hasn't played a whole lot. They've got Evan Ingram there as well for the Giants. But Kyle Rudolph, so first of all, the Chiefs allow the 6th most fantasy points to tight ends this year. Wow. So I think Evan Ingram's also a good bet tonight, maybe in the receptions or the yards prop. They don't really target Ingram in the red zone, though. That's why I like Kyle Rudolph. He had 2 red zone targets last week. He had a touchdown called back, overturned, because he was out of bounds at the inch line. And he's had 4 red zone targets in the last 4 weeks, but he hasn't scored yet. 0 touchdowns. He's going to find the end zone, I think, eventually. And listen, 10-1 is an absurd number for a tight end who's going to probably be on the field in goal line sets, 2 tight end sets. I think they might design one for him tonight.
Why not?
Because they designed one for him last week and he almost scored on it, but he was out at the 1-yard line. So Kyle Rudolph, 10-1. Why not?
Why not? I mean, I like it. I have a couple plus money props coming up too. First of all, I want to talk about this over under. And I know I'm like, Daniel Jones over this many passing yards, but I also like the under in this game, 52.5. I think it's similar to the spread. The total for this game is decreased as the week has gone on. I think it opened at 54, quickly dipped down to 52.5, depending on where you're looking at by the end of the day Sunday. And it's held that number since. I like under. It does feel a little high when considering that New York is going to be down, a variety of high profile weapons on the offense. And the fact that Kansas City in my opinion, continues to look lost. I mean, they're all like the turnovers are just unbelievable this season. They have to stop doing that. But I think on top of the Chiefs managing just 3 points last week, like I was saying, turnovers continue to be a problem for them. They gave the ball away 3 times last week as well. I think the Giants do have a strong matchup going against the Chiefs defense. Their offense hasn't exactly blown clubs away, but for me, I think the key trend in this one is the under is 4-0 in the Chiefs' last 4 Monday games. And so I feel pretty good about 52.5 under. I'm taking it. I'm taking that one.
I don't mind it. I'll give you a few reasons why I don't mind it. First of all, the market has agreed with you. And the majority of action is on the over, but the total is dropped. So very, very sharp by looking at the way that the market has moved this week. And I even saw the hook evaporate this morning. I'm seeing 52 across the board now. There are no more 52.5s available. I just saw the one at DraftKings that I was looking at this morning just get like literally as we're taped, like I've got my screen open now and it just flashed that the 52.5 is gone. So the market certainly, maybe someone's listening or tapping into the broadcast and is.
Yeah, I think they know.
Yeah, they certainly know. Secondly, after starting 6-0, primetime overs are 6-10 since the first 2 weeks of the year. So primetime overs, the first 2 weeks were 6-0. Week 1, week 2, 3-0, 3-0. Since then, 6-10. So what does that mean? Early in the year, the numbers were a little soft. Now those primetime numbers, which are usually the most bet games, they've kind of sharpened up a little bit. So not surprising that we've seen the market turn a little bit towards primetime unders after the overs were such an easy bet, an easy win the first 2 weeks of the year. So those are 2 reasons that I certainly can get behind it. And the third one being, eventually we are going to see some positive regression from this Chiefs defense. I know they're bad and the numbers are bad. I'm not, defending that, but I do think eventually they aren't as bad as the Jaguars defense and some of those other bad, like they will scheme some things out, and maybe tonight's the night where they play a little bit better than what their numbers have indicated. So if that's the case, then 52 is certainly a good number to be under.
I'm feeling pretty good about it, Jared, heading into tonight. I mean, need to totally redeem myself after yesterday.
Oh,
I had a brutal day.
Everyone had a bad day. Yesterday was the best day for the sports books of the season.
I mean, rightly so. When the Jets win against the Bengals, that's what happens. So, Jared, tell your Jets to get it together and just start losing again, please. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I wish I had any control over that. I'd be a very rich man. I will say this too. Home teams is another thing that just confounds me. Another brutal day for home teams. They went 5-9 straight up. So they are well below 500 this season. 46% straight up, 43% against the spread, home teams this year.
Wow.
And again, if you're making your own numbers in your head when you're betting these games and you're giving 3 points to a home team, stop, because it's not worth 3 points anymore. The number is significantly less. If anything, it might be completely moot. Maybe it's 1 point now. This season, I would probably give home field advantage. So just the landscape of gambling, now that we're 8-9 weeks into the year, we can start to draw some really meaningful conclusions from the sample size.
Definitely. I want to tell you one more bet that I have going on right now.
Lay it on me.
And I don't know how I feel about this, but I woke up this morning and I'm like, I need to make this bet. I have to.
Those are the best ones to make. They come to you in your sleep.
Yeah. Kadarius Toney, first touchdown of the game, 17-1.
I love it.
I know.
I love it.
And I'm also kind of like sprinkling it on an anytime touchdown too.
Yeah. He's been awesome.
He's been so good.
Yeah.
So
he's looked good.
I
when
know.
He's healthy.
So I'm like, what the heck? I'm gonna put some money on him to score the first touchdown of the game, plus 1,700. I think the Giants are operating at just over 50% when it comes to scoring first, converting in 4 of 7 games so far. Kansas City's done it just 3 times. Their defense contributing to a pick 6 in the process. So I know Kelsey and Hill are popular picks to score first, but
no value, none. Zero value in any of those Chiefs. The Chiefs players, you never have any value in their props. It's really hard to bet Chiefs props. It's really hard.
Is. I mean, the books are basically guaranteeing that the Chiefs are scoring first based on the odds. But I think let's hope for a little intrigue on Monday night.
That's where the value is.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney's been the hottest Giants receiver. For missing the win over the Panthers, 19 catches on 25 targets over a dominant 3-game stretch, logged 189 yards against the Cowboys, as well as on his way to similar number against the Rams before his ankle got a little, I don't even know, it was flared up or whatever happened to it. But I think he has yet to hit his pay dirt this year. But if he comes back, I think he's going to come back.
He hasn't scored yet this year?
What?
Tony hasn't scored yet this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. I love it. Rookie. Yeah, no, yeah. I like it even more. At this point of the year, if you have players that are a big part of the offense, remember a couple weeks ago, it was Andrews with the Ravens, and he was getting all those looks in the red zone and he hadn't scored yet. That eventually these guys, it's in their contract. They want to score. They're going to get looks. And Tony's a guy that I think they're going to start really feeding to.
And here's the thing. It's something that I know he's still game time decision, but I'm going to take the risk with his ankle and his
I'm hearing he's going to play. I heard him and Shepard from my New York sources, wink, wink. I heard they're both going to play. So I think Shepard's the one that's the least likely, but I heard they're both going to play.
Yeah, so I have both. Kadarius Toney first touchdown plus 1,700 and anytime touchdown at plus 240. Because why not?
Why not?
Why not? I feel really good about it heading into tonight. So
all the value on touchdown props are all on the Giants. They are 10-point underdogs. They are only expected to score 21 points in this game. Vegas has this final score 31-21. So that means that there's only 3 touchdowns on the board, and I think the Giants are going to score more than 21 points in this game. And anytime that you're a 10-point underdog and the total's in the 50s, there is value on your touchdown props because I think there's a little wiggle room for the Giants to put some points on the board tonight.
I know, and I love my plus money bets, Jared. You know this. So anytime I see an underdog, I'm like, let's get in there. Any touchdown prop, let's get in there. I'm loving it. Speaking of props, let's do a little game we like to call Red Hot Chili Proppers. First week was last
favorite
week.
Game.
We loved it. This week, we're doing it again, and this is how it's going to work. I'm going to give you a prop. You're going to tell me over, under, quick little reason why. You got 15 seconds.
I did no research for this. None.
Perfect.
This is all instinct. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just admitted I didn't do any research for bets, but I didn't bet any of these.
Sometimes betting,
you're right.
It's just instinct. Sometimes I make these bets, and I'm like, I just feel it. I don't really know why, but I woke up this morning, and I felt the touchdown prop bet. I felt the first touchdown prop bet. I'm thinking about putting some money on the Giants money line. Why not? You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
mind it.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Let's just go crazy.
Let's go crazy.
We'll see.
Do it.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Mahomes over under 302.5 passing yards.
Under. They always juice his number too much to the over. So under.
Daniel Jones over under 21.5 rushing yards.
Over. DJ goes off tonight. He goes I think his longest rush is a good bet tonight too. I think I saw 10.5.
I like that you guys are on a nickname basis. DJ, big fan. Travis Kelce over under 78.5 receiving yards.
I'm going under blindly on every Chiefs prop because they always juice those numbers too much. Under.
Devontae Booker over under 50.5 rushing.
Oh, 50. Under. They're going to be behind probably, and they're not going to use him much. Under.
This one's easy for me. Will there be a Mahomes interception? Yes or no?
Is it plus money to the yes?
Yep. Plus
absolutely. He's thrown one in every game this year. No, not every game, but he's thrown one in like 5 or 6 straight games. He's got 9 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
I would assume eventually it balances out, but just for the sake of this game and plus money, I'll say yes.
Right after the show, I'm actually going to go and bet the yes on this one.
That's a great number.
I'm not a Mahomes fan, but I like plus money, so I feel good about that.
She loves the plus money.
Live the plus money. Last one, Tyreek Hill over under 6.5 receptions.
Under. Honestly, I bet if you blindly bet every single Chiefs player under their props tonight, I bet at the end of the night you'd come out on top.
I like it, Jared.
I just don't understand how they keep juicing their numbers so much. I do understand it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Patrick Mahomes tax, but I'm not falling for it. No tax here. I'll throw that tea into the harbor like back in the Revolutionary War. The Boston Tea Party. They were upset about their tax on tea. I don't like my Mahomes tax. I'm gonna throw it back into the Hudson.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, MCM. Man Crush Monday or Market Correction Monday? What a shift here. MCM, Man Crush, Market Correction. We're talking about Market Correction Monday. Every Monday, we see how the market overreacts. So let's check in on some of the Super Bowl moves on FanDuel. I want to take you back to Thursday Night Football. Packers to win the Super Bowl goes from 11-1 odds to 9.5-1 odds. I still cannot believe they ended up winning that game against the Cardinals. What do you think about this one?
That game was so much fun.
So good.
I hope we get 2 or 3 more games with Aaron Rodgers against the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, because I don't think it matters that they're undermanned, no Devontae Adams, bad defense, Jair Alexander, excuse me. I don't think they care. It's Aaron Rodgers against the world this year. And I'll be honest, 11-1, 10-1, that range I think is still fair game to fire on them. Let me check. Actually, I didn't look. I should have looked at this beforehand. What their number was preseason. I got it right here. Just give me 1 second. So their Super Bowl number preseason was about 16-1.
Wow.
Actually, that was in July. After Aaron Rodgers signed, 12-1. Thank you, Jack. 12-1. It's still the same, basically. I mean, it hasn't moved that much off of the preseason number. And what's changed from week 1? Nothing, really. I would still fire away on that, because now it looks like, because of that win over Arizona, they're probably, or at least they have the inside track, especially after the Bucs lost yesterday, to get home field advantage in the NFC. And if the playoffs go through Lambeau, I mean, what else can you ask for if you're Aaron Rodgers? That's the dream, to make all the, Tampa Bay, Brady, and those guys come to Lambeau. I know that they won last year at Lambeau, but still, that's, to me, going to give them the inside track. So I would still be willing to fire on the Packers at plus 950 in FanDuel. I bet you can find a better number out there for them to win the Super Bowl. I think that's still fair price.
That was such a fun game to watch. Let's move on to the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, plus 7,000 to plus 3,100. It's gutsy win by them on the road against the Chargers.
Biggest mover of the day. I saw at the Superbook, which is, in my opinion, the sharpest NFL book around, they went from 100-1 to 50-1. I mean, boom, number just gets chopped right in half after one game. So I'm not going to say that the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. I am not ready to go out on that limb, because that's a very flimsy limb. But here's what I will say.
Yeah.
Think about the AFC contenders yesterday that are all in the mix for those wild card spots. Remember, there's 3 wild card spots now. You get the Chargers lost, the Bengals lost. Crazy. So there's some opening. The Titans just lost Derrick Henry. The Colts lost. So the Patriots are 4-4. They almost beat the Cowboys. They almost beat the Bucs. They've played some really tight games, and Mac Jones keeps getting better every week. And their defense has been great this year. So you could make worse investments than a Patriots team that has been to the end of the rainbow before with Bill Belichick. I know it's a very different team, but
and a way different quarterback.
Totally different quarterback. I think a more frankly, I mean, don't get me wrong, Brady's Brady, but in terms of, arm talent and physical tools, Mac Jones, I think, is a step ahead of Tom Brady.
You think? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Brady.
That's a bold statement, Jared.
I love Tom Brady, but he does not have the arm strength Mac Jones does. He doesn't. He just doesn't. He just doesn't. But that doesn't mean I don't think Mac Jones has the mental ability that Tom has. But here's what I went way out on a limb here. I knew that I would with this one. But I do think you could make worse bets than 50-1 at Superbook, 31-1 at FanDuel, than a Patriots team that seems to be getting better every week. And think about last year, the Bucs. They got blasted in the middle of the year multiple times, and they figured it out down the stretch. And I'm not comparing the situations, but I do think there is a case to be made for teams that look a little unsettled now in week 8, week 9, that you might be able to get a good number on them going forward in the playoffs. And the Patriots look like they're a playoff team. They are. I think the Patriots are a playoff team for sure. Maybe the better bet to make right now is for them, to make the playoffs, because I think they're going to keep getting better every week. And they play in a brutal division. They still get to face the Bills twice, so they have it all out in front of them. I wouldn't be shocked if they win one of those games against the Bills either.
Yeah, you were talking a little bit about the AFC North with the Bengals losing yesterday. Bengals lost to the Jets, which I could not believe. But the Ravens to win AFC North, they move up a little bit, minus 120 to minus 140. I was so bummed. I could not believe. I turned on the game probably halfway through the first quarter, and I'm like, are the Jets up? 7-0 right now. I was so confused. And then just watching that game, that was just like, I don't know. It was like my soul was leaving my body. I was like all in on the Bengals yesterday. All in. I don't know. What do you think about the Ravens now?
I think it's funny. I thought the teams that had the best 2 days. So there was 2 teams I thought that I was getting ready to invest in the futures market that had the best days yesterday. Neither of them played. Ravens and Packers. They all played. Ravens were on a bye, and the Packers played Thursday. It's kind of funny how other results can change your opinion on different teams. So Baltimore week 1 was minus 150 to win the AFC North. So what's changed since week 1? Well, the Steelers they looked okay yesterday, but I'm still down on the Steelers. The Browns are a mess. The Bengals just lost to the Jets. And the Ravens number to win the AFC North is actually cheaper, minus 140 now, than it was week 1. Wow. So that's the bet to make. Actually, and I'll be honest, I don't see a reason why Baltimore doesn't win the AFC North right now, barring injury. It's their division to win. And I think the Bengals showed you, and I know that they beat the Ravens 2 weeks ago, but I think the Bengals showed you that they're not quite ready to be a consistent winner. When you lose to the Jets as double-digit favorites, you have some issues that need to be worked out internally, mentally, in the locker room. So that, to me, is the bet to make with Baltimore this week, is for them to win the AFC North. I think they're I think they're going to win that division, and I still think you're getting a pretty relatively fair price on them.
Let's shift south. What about the NFC South? The Bucs to win, minus 700 to minus 380, despite losing to the Saints, who really seem to be the only team that throws Tom Brady off.
Well, that's the beauty of it. So the South is a fascinating division. Atlanta and Carolina that game was a total shit show yesterday. And then you've got the Saints now without Jameis Winston, maybe with Taysom Hill back. We don't know yet. We'll hear about that. But the Bucs are still the Bucs, and you're getting a big discount on them to win this division. And I know you've got to have deep pockets to lay minus 380. I am not discounting that, and I don't have deep enough pockets to lay this and make any significant money. But I know there's a lot of people out there who do, because I saw like a bunch of $500,000 bets on the Bengals laying 10 yesterday. So there's people out there that have deep pockets.
We think we had a bad day yesterday, Jared. Those guys had a bad day yesterday.
so minus 380 denotes about a 75-80% implied odds of you winning the division. I don't see how, what are the 2 scenarios that the Bucs don't win the division? Is it Brady gets hurt? Sure, that's one. What's the second? I don't think there is a second scenario where the Bucs don't win the NFC South, which means I have this as a 90% implied odds that the Bucs are going to win the NFC South. 9 out of 10. I think the Bucs win this division. That means you're getting value on minus 380. And again, I know it's not a sexy pick. It's juicy as heck. But if something's implying 75-80% and I've got it capped at 90%, I got a 10% edge on the market. So if you got deep pockets and you're willing to wait about a month and a half, I think the Bucs to win the NFC South are getting a significant discount from minus 700 to minus 380. You might even be able to find a better number somewhere else. But to me, that's a bet that I would make too, because I just don't see another scenario where, unless Brady gets hurt, the Bucs don't win this division.
People say C's get degrees, but if it's 90%, I'm pretty sure that's an A-. And that's a passing grade, Jared, so I like it. For more, let's bring in our good friend, Jim Monis. Jim, are we still having a Monday Still Fun Day, even though yesterday kind of took advantage of us all?
First of all, yes, happy Monday Still Fun Day. I always enjoy seeing you guys, and usually we're celebrating a big win on Sunday night, and it didn't happen for me last night. I need to just talk to you quickly, and then we'll get into the Monday night game. But Khloe Kardashian has an issue with Tristan Thompson, right? He cheats on her with her sister's best friend. She takes him back. Then he goes to Boston, cheats on her again. She's still thinking about it. She can't end it with Tristan. That is me and Kirk Cousins. I can't get it right.
You got a double snort out of Lauren there.
I always fall for Kirk Cousins' tricks. I always think he's over the prime time. He's not going to fall apart on prime time. He really is going to have a good year. He'll beat a backup quarterback at home.
You ready for the numbers? Hold on. I don't know if this will make you feel better or worse. 8 and 18 straight up in prime time.
Oh,
I wrote these down just for you. 9 and 16 against the spread. Kirk Cousins in prime time.
And the ones that he won, I bet against him.
Oh my God.
I promise you. So anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. I can't. I relate to Chloe when it comes to Tristan. That is my Tristan talk. Kirk Cousins.
Here's the question I have to follow up, though. Do we give any credence to Dallas just being a tougher team?
Yes.
They're 7-0 against the spread.
Yeah, Dallas looked really good.
I think we've talked about them before yes, they are certainly a team that weeks ago we talked about them as being a Super Bowl team, and they obviously are. Mm-hmm. For them to do that, that's a well-coached football team to go on the road, backup quarterback, and then shut that off. And the Vikings do have a good offense. Shut that offense down like that. That's how you have to do it. Win with a backup quarterback. Your defense has to step up, and they did.
I know. Really interesting. When you look at yesterday, Jim, what stands out to you? I mean, there was so much that happened yesterday that people weren't necessarily expecting. So what was the biggest trend that you saw that you're like, I
think the backup quarterbacks yesterday.
Yes,
I know.
It's wild.
But you look at the Jets, you look at the Saints, Dallas last night. I mean, those guys really – Justin Fields technically is this – I know he's a starter, but, man, if you actually do love Justin Fields, try to watch that game. He was outstanding.
The play on 4th and 1, that was a moment.
Keep that head coach on the COVID list in Chicago.
I put that in my write-up this week. I said, are we sure the Bears aren't better off with Nagy in a hotel room somewhere in quarantine?
Arizona proved head coaches are, at the end of the day, Arizona won a game.
They're worth 0 against the line, according to the experts we talked to.
Should be. But yeah, the backup quarterbacks and the way the coaches handle those guys, like the way the Saints, I just always, my love for the Saints. I have so much respect for Sean Payton, what he does. They won't skip a beat without, that defense is so real.
Yeah.
And I love that they went and got Ingram. I love it. Because I think Kamara, and Lauren, you hit on this. Lauren, you were all over Kamara against Seattle in the receiving part of his game. He's a better receiving back than he is a running back. He really is. Sometimes I feel like he goes down too easy. He's not the biggest guy. I love Ingram as a running. I think that combo, I think the Saints upgraded.
A lot of toughness. A lot of toughness with Ingram. I think in
so
general, the home field splits were really starting to interest me too. Jim, to me, home field advantage, I don't even know if I'm going to give even a point now. I think I'm flat across the board, and I'm treating every game like it's been playing at a neutral site because I think the sports books really are starting to learn that home field isn't worth much at all, and it's not factoring into the lines, and the home teams really are struggling against the spread and straight up.
It's so interesting.
It is. It's fascinating. It's hard to come up with a real reason why. I know we've spoke about before, but
travel's not a big deal anymore. And just the silent counts and the advancements of how they run their systems. It's not a factor.
I thought Thursday night, I know it's Thursday, Green Bay, Arizona game. The way teams are at such a disadvantage on those short weeks. And for Green Bay to come in without their, full roster on the road and go into a team, Arizona is good. And they weren't phased. So this home field is I'm with you. It's not even a factor anymore. It's crazy.
When you look at tonight, you have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Giants. Are there any props? Are you betting the spread, the money line? What stands out to you for tonight?
My best bet for tonight, I'm going, I like first half bets. Now, you're looking at the 29th and 30th ranked first half differential teams tonight. Giants are actually ahead of Kansas City.
Wow.
That is a straight pick 'em, in my opinion, in the first half, and you're getting 6 points. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants getting 6 in that first half because I'm looking for fireworks tonight. These defenses aren't going to slow. I'm thinking good nights for Daniel Jones. I'm going to do a little prop parlay with the over on touchdowns for Jones over 1.5 and Mahomes over 2.5.
Woo!
Yep. I don't think these teams score running the ball. I think they score throwing the ball. Okay. And I love, and I know you guys were talking about this early, I love Kadarius Toney coming back.
Me too.
And I love Sterling Shepard. Those guys are ballers. And give that to Jones, who has played well in prime time. Yeah. I think this is going to be – I like the Giants getting the points too. But I'm still struggling with the Vikings. So I'm hoping that Daniel Jones, because we all know he's got a good fumble in him coming, probably second half, a nice little fumble turnover. he's always good for that. So that's why I'm taking the first half. I think he's going to come out and play really well early. They're going to score, I think, 14 quick, get that 6 points, cover that first half spread.
I got another nugget for you. So
That's
next week, Packers Chiefs.
Ooh.
Any short week for Kansas City having to play. I think the game's in KC, but you got Aaron Rodgers off a long week, long rest coming in. Any look ahead vibes tonight with the Chiefs? So we got Aaron Rodgers coming. First of all, this would be like a dream Super Bowl matchup. Second of all, I could see them being a little bit, hey, we don't want to put too much on tape. We want to kind of, be a little conservative. I know that's not the Chiefs' MO, but any look ahead vibes tonight?
I think look aheads and letdown is a real thing. I think
Absolutely.
both of those. I think both of those.
Look at the Bengals yesterday.
That's what I was just going to say. We've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen the players. I've seen the vibes in practice when you have. It's a different when you're playing. The thing about tonight is Kansas City's been Mahomes for the first time is actually taking some criticism. In his career.
It's true.
So I do think that's why I'm taking his over.
They're not reading the press clippings this week and being happy like the Bengals were all week.
There you go. I think the Chiefs stay focused tonight as far as, especially Mahomes. I think he comes out and gives us a good game tonight. But I'm with you on that. There is such things as look aheads. I don't think the Chiefs are looking ahead, though. I think they need to just find a way. They just need to get a win tonight. They need to just get a win.
In a big way. Are you back on the Vikings next week?
Oh, probably.
No, Andrew Ortenberg came on the show Friday and was like singing the praises of the Vikings. I cannot wait for it.
He loves them. He loves them. He
didn't respond to my messages last night.
No, Chloe's going to give Tristan. Chloe will give Tristan another chance. You guys have to be. You have to be my Rob Kardashian and my Kourtney or Kim Kardashian and talk me out of the Vikings. Just
Which
every
one am
week.
I?
You're Rob.
You're Kim.
You can be Kim if you want.
I'll be Rob.
I've been called worse. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh my God.
But Kirk Cousins is the reason we need Jameson. We need Bloody
Kirk
Mary.
Here's the issue I have with Kirk. If there was I tweeted this out last night. If there was an award for throwing short of the sticks on third down, Kirk would be the favorite. Like it's like 3rd and 8, Kirk gets 4. Like, dude, throw the ball down the field.
Real quick,
Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. What are you doing?
Real quick, another pet peeve of mine that I'm watching every week. Underthrown deep balls are guaranteed pass interferences.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz has made a career out of it this year.
He had 3 of them yesterday.
It's every game. He does it every game. But
Carson Wentz is another one.
Well, we talked about him. Did you see him spastic? Remember I said how spastic he is? Remember how spastic he is? I told yesterday.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
Throwing the
Jim, I think we could do a whole show of just like doing like a Gruden breakdown of these quarterbacks and like what do they think? Like, because I've now granted it was in high school, so I can't compare it. But I understand the like when the clock gets sped up, but these guys are pros, man. Like you can't be doing what Carson Wentz did yesterday, spastic and then just throw it up in the air and the Titans guy just grabs it and walks into the end zone. Like I take the safety, if anything.
No, it is. It's fascinating. And the guys that don't like, that's what makes you appreciate Aaron Rodgers so much. Or the Russell
100%.
You won't see those guys. They're not going to break your heart. They're just not.
Or even the rookies like a Mac Jones and Justin Herbert. Like those guys, you haven't seen those plays from those guys.
No, Herbert, that's another guy. Herbert's been anointed a little bit too high for me. I still need to see a little – he's talented, don't get me wrong, but there needs to be a little more, especially coming out of the gate for the Chiefs or the Chargers. They haven't played real well in the first half. So
as long as they don't face Bill Belichick, they're fine because that's clearly his kryptonite.
Wow, that guy. I heard you guys talking about the Patriots earlier. That was impressive. Yep. That was impressive.
Super impressive. Jim, go have yourself a good old Bloody Mary on this Monday.
Yeah, me and my friend Tito.
We're recouping and we're moving on to next week. We got week 9 coming at us for NFL. Thanks so much for taking your time. Monday's still fun day, Monday Night Football. We love you, Jim Monis.
Great stuff.
We can't end without the Pickswise 3-star play of the day. Hit me with it. What do we got?
I wish I had some better news for you, but there are none. I will give you I feel like every time you and I do a show together, there's never any 3-star plays. Prop bet guy does have a prop, obviously.
Does he?
That's it. That's what he does. Daniel Jones, DJ, my boy, over 20 and a half completions. Not a 3-star play, but anytime prop bet guy puts it on his page, it might as well be a 4-star play, frankly.
Yeah.
And our boy AO, licking his wounds after his Vikings loss last night, he has a NHL parlay for you. Cap Senators Oilers. I haven't bet any NHL today, but I have been getting invested in the NHL markets a little bit, dipping my toe in occasionally, quarter unit, half unit sprinkles. We're going to do a lot more hockey talk in the next few weeks, obviously, when the NFL kind of takes its little midweek dip, baseball's over. We'll have some more puck picks, but that's a parlay for you tonight.
Good old puck pick parlays. Couple P's. All right, our best bets. I know we're riding high on the same one tonight, and I'm thinking about changing mine in the moment, but you go first.
What are you going to change it to?
Giants money line.
Do it. I will say this. We've done well when we're both on the same side. I think we're 3-1 when we're on the same side of a bet.
Which is good.
Yeah, our PODs. But full disclosure, because I'm all about records, I went 5-12 with my PODs in October.
Wow.
But I went 11-6 in September. So
okay.
balance.
So guess what? Today's November 1st.
It's a new month.
Today's November 1st.
New month.
New month.
Wipe it clean.
Fresh.
I do like the Giants getting 10 and a hook. I saw just 10 cents. Originally, it was 15 cents at DraftKings this morning, but I saw Superbook and Caesars. It moved a little bit towards KC. So I guess some of the sports books are starting to take some Kansas City money. Not surprising. Most of the handles on the Chiefs. Most of the tickets are on the Chiefs. The line's kind of It opened, obviously, when the Chiefs lost last week. It moved after they're getting blown out, and the Giants played pretty well, beating the Panthers. So I wasn't surprised we saw some movement towards the Chiefs, but I still don't think it's really moved enough. I think anything north of 10, I would definitely play the Giants. 10.5 is a good bet. So I'll take the 10.5. We got to start a new streak, new month. I don't mind the Giants money line though, but obviously 10.5 is the safer play.
Yes, 10.5 is definitely the safer play. I look at Kansas City, not the team we've come to know. You were talking about it. They're allowing 6.6 yards per play, the highest mark in the NFL. I do expect Patrick Mahomes and the offense to bounce back after putting up only 3 points last week, but I think the defense leaves the door wide open for me. The Chiefs, 2-5 against the spread this season, which is tied for second lowest in all of the entire NFL. And I think the key trend for me is the Giants are 20-6 against the spread in their last 26 road games.
Wow.
So isn't that pretty good?
I love that nugget. And that's a legit sample size too. That's 26 games. You play 8 road games a year. That's 3 seasons.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
20-6 against the spread, last 26 road games. That's why, and 10.5 is just a very juicy number for me. But I'm just feeling like maybe I'm going to be bold. I'm going to have my, Starbucks like bold roast. Is bold roast even a thing? I don't even know.
Dark roast. I get dark roast sometimes. Bold
the bold roast. I'm like,
it's like bold and italic roast.
I think I'm going to bet the spread and the money line today, both on the Giants.
I think if you're betting, so I heard we're hiring some new people to work at at the Spotlight. So I'm hoping I can get a project, but I want to know what the percentage is. Last year was 80% of the people that cover the spread. The teams that cover the spread win the game outright. And that I don't know if it's the same this year. Again, it's a deep dive, stat. We need like an intern to do this project. But if that's the case, then absolutely, if you're betting the Giants spread tonight, you should sprinkle the money line because that's they go hand in hand.
I'm going to, and I love my good old plus money bets. So what the hell? Let's go for it, Jared. It's Monday. We're switching it around, making up for yesterday, and we're feeling good. Monday's still fun day, baby. I'm all about it. Let's go Giants.
Big Blue.
Biggest fan.
If the Jets can win as double-digit dogs, why can't the Giants?
I'm all about it. All about it. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Download the Pickswise app. I love it. Jared Smith, Lauren Jbara. Go Giants. Best of luck tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.